Mozambique is spiraling back into terror. After a US aid shutdown under a presidential order, the programs that once held fragile districts together collapsed. ISIS rushed into the void. Villages are falling, families are fleeing, and militants now move with a confidence not seen since the war's darkest days. Northern Mozambique is confronting its most serious ISIS resurgence in years, as militants regain territory and confidence in the wake of the abrupt collapse of US development assistance. According to a CNN investigation report, the shutdown of the US Agency for International Development, USAID, under an executive order issued by US President Donald Trump in January, dismantled programs that once stabilized vulnerable districts in Cabo Delgado. The most visible change is the renewed boldness of ISIS fighters. CNN reports that early last month, 7 armed men entered a mosque in Mocímboa da Praia, demanding the keys and ordering the community to gather. The mosque's imam, Sumail Issa, told CNN in October 2025. It became clear who they were. Also palpable was the newfound confidence of the jihadists. When they called everyone over, as soon as they saw that flag, a colleague and I left saying we needed the toilet. Issa and his colleagues slipped away to alert the military, but the militants stayed long enough to deliver an organized speech using the mosque's microphone. According to Analysts cited by CNN, video posted on social media showed the fighters with faces exposed, presenting a highly localized manifesto suggesting ambition and growing operational independence. People did not flee. Many filmed the speech. CNN notes this signaled ISIS could now move unopposed, asserting control without immediate resistance. Days later, the rhetoric escalated into brutality. CNN reports that on September 7th, ISIS launched a major offensive targeting Mocímboa da Praia, beheading dozens of mostly Christian men and forcing tens of thousands to flee. The Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, or ACLED, told CNN that from January to October 2025, 79% of global ISIS activity had occurred in Africa, with Mozambique responsible for 11% of attacks worldwide. For many communities, the violence is deeply personal. CNN interviewed survivors in the Christian district of Filipe Nyusi, a neighborhood abandoned after repeated raids. Albano Nkwemba, a 50-year-old security guard, was among those killed. His brother-in-law, Rafael Andinengo, reenacted what he witnessed, telling CNN,
"He was tied up, and they took a stick and beat him. They cut off his head and put it on his bottom."
The beheadings, carried out during night raids, drove families from their homes into displacement camps around Mueda, where humanitarian agencies now struggle with shrinking budgets and expanding needs. Mozambique's current unraveling is not occurring in a vacuum. CNN reports that more than half the population lives below the poverty line, and the average age is just 17. USAID funding in 2024 totaled $586 million, amounting to almost 3% of the country's GDP, financing food supplies, medical support, education, and local administration. CNN examined internal USAID documents showing over $2.4 billion in ongoing and future programs when the shutdown order was issued. Many of these initiatives were aimed at stabilizing communities at risk of ISIS recruitment, such as young motorcycle taxi drivers and coastal fishermen. A former senior USAID official, speaking anonymously due to policy sensitivities, told CNN in October 2025,
"The abrupt end of USAID programs opened the door for insurgents to act with greater freedom and impunity. Studies commissioned by USAID showed the Mozambique insurgency was ultimately fueled by extreme poverty and marginalization, including an absolute lack of basic services like health and education.
The USAID official speaking to CNN added,
When those efforts suddenly stopped, it created a vacuum, as well as increased vulnerability and desperation. That vacuum gave insurgents more space to operate, whether through violence or by trying to win over local communities.
At the community level, the consequences are visible. CNN reports that hospitals partly funded by USAID lost staff and ran short of essential medications. Local businesses dependent on USAID-supported income programs shut down. And the networks that once tracked early signs of recruitment disappeared almost overnight. Aid worker Camisa Fabayo, who ran a USAID-funded project supporting motorcycle taxi drivers, described how the lack of opportunities pushes young men toward the insurgency. He told CNN,
Those who go into the jungle to join the insurgents do so because they want to save themselves. It's utter despair. That money has benefited us greatly. President Trump is a man who has to have a heart. Not all Mozambicans are corrupt. Not all Africans are corrupt.
Similarly, CNN spoke with local development worker Kadumo Sufo, whose fisherman monitoring project also lost funding. He told CNN that volunteers watched for boats that never returned because
most fishermen are young, within the age range they hunt for recruitment.
Sufo's own family suffered heavily. His 2 sons and daughter were abducted by ISIS over 6 years ago. Only his daughter returned. Sufo told CNN.
When I say their names, I immediately remember my children, and I don't feel good about it.
Humanitarian agencies now face impossible choices. The Norwegian Refugee Council told CNN that services have been reduced to emergency only after USAID cuts. UNICEF and the World Food Programme warned that 2026 looks very bleak, with no clarity on how many people they will be able to assist. The US State Department, in a statement to CNN, said Washington was still assisting, mainly with food and nutrition, and that foreign aid remains under evaluation. The statement read,
The United States continues to be the most generous nation in the world. This administration is significantly enhancing the efficiency and strategic impact of foreign assistance programs around the world. We call on other nations to increase burden sharing globally.
Yet the crisis unfolds just kilometers from massive offshore natural gas reserves, in which Total Energies, ExxonMobil, and the US Export-Import Bank have invested billions. With ISIS publicly signaling interest in disrupting these projects, the race between investment and insurgency has never been more stark. Mozambique now stands at a pivotal moment, whether new security and humanitarian measures can rebuild what was lost, or whether the vacuum created by aid withdrawal will allow ISIS to entrench itself even further.